Welcome to the Free Bin, a podcast of the Toledo Public Library. My name is Sophia. I'm the new library program specialist. I'm here with Harrison and Cindy, library director and assistant library director. And today we're having a book discussion, I should say.
Yes.
We're discussing our favorite genres, giving some book recommendations within that genre. And then also on the flip side, is there anything that you love in a genre? I don't know why I can't say that word, that maybe you don't normally read.
The more you say the word, the weirder it sounds.
Genre. Is that a real word? I don't know.
Yeah. Which it looks like it should be pronounced like Genru or Genre.
Gener.
Yeah, but it's genre.
The geners. I read in all geners.
All right. Well, I'm going to do our announcements real quick. So Wednesdays, as usual, 10:30 story time. Don't forget those.
Never forget.
Never forget story time. Thursday this week, two things going on that's coming up on the 17th. We have Charlie Brown, the Juggler at 10:30 out on the back lawn. For kids, adults, whoever, come on down. It's hopefully going to be a nice day and a lot of fun to be out on the yard back there. And then that evening is the Oregon Humanities Grant Community Conversation with the Toledo History Museum, the Yaquina Pacific Railroad, I lost the word, Railroad Historical Society. Thank you. And Ted Cox, the author of the Toledo Incident. We're going to have a conversation about the history of Toledo, where we come from, helps to map where we want to go as a city. And so this is the first of three grant-funded conversations, and like I said, from the Oregon Humanities Grant. And so that was pretty exciting. That's coming up. And then, of course, the big joust tournament is on Saturday the 19th at high noon. Thank you, Harrison.
I'm getting better at it.
You are. And so come in, sign up. It's an elimination tournament, right? I don't know what the right word is.
Single elimination.
Yep.
It should go pretty quick. It should be a good time. We need more folks to register. Otherwise, it'll be a short tournament indeed. So come register.
Well,
at the
if
desk.
I could register, I can't. And so that's unfortunate for everyone because I am so good at
She is very good at joust. The best at joust.
The best, and you'll never know because I can't be in the tournament. So that's what I got.
I've got a beverage.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
And we are looking forward to this one. I've never had one like this, so that's exciting.
This one is courtesy of my wife who found this in the grocery store. Lester Fixin's artificially flavored bacon soda.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Wow. Lester, what's his last? Fixins?
Lester's Fixins. Lester's Fixins. Yeah.
Well, we can blame it on Lester if it's terrible.
Yeah, if it's awful. It might actually be good. You never know. I mean, bacon's just salty pork, right?
Mm-hmm. And
never had it in a soda, however. It's
a light brownish, kind of reddish brown. Slogan is, y'all get your fixins.
So this makes me wonder, are there other fixins that Lester has produced in soda?
There's a range of unusual flavors. I can probably pull.
Do they have like biscuits and gravy?
I hope so.
Or ham? Or what else do you have for fixins?
Let's see.
Jamoncito? Oh my God.
What was that one?
A little jamoncito, like little ham.
In a soda?
There's coffee soda, cucumber soda, buffalo wing soda, mustard soda, ranch flavored soda.
This has gone too far.
Sweet corn.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, there's sweet corn flavor, peanut butter and jelly. Pumpkin pie.
Well, that's like pumpkin spice with fizz.
There are 3 bacon flavors: bacon with chocolate, and bacon with maple syrup.
Oh, now see, bacon with maple syrup, that's how I eat my bacon. I put syrup on my pancakes and my bacon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think I don't know.
We'll see. We're going to. Let's see if first I'm going to see if this is a twist off. Nope, it's not.
Nope. Uh-oh.
All right. We got to pause the recording. I got to go pop this bottle top.
It's not mushroom.
All right. We're back.
All right.
And we've got the soda poured. All right. And first impressions, let's get the nose on it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It smells like
It smells like feet.
it smells like dog treats.
It doesn't smell like bacon.
No, it doesn't.
It smells like my paper cup. I mean, there really is no, I can't.
I'm getting something.
Okay.
All right. We going to do it?
Here we go.
Don't spit on
Bottoms
the
up.
microphone.
Okay, I won't.
Oh.
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 That's
is
nasty.
an acquired taste.
It doesn't have much taste at all.
It doesn't taste like bacon.
It's all aftertaste.
It's like sweet.
Yeah, okay.
If you put socks in a soda with sugar, that's how this tastes.
Yeah, this is not good.
Objectively, not good.
I took a second sip and then I swallowed and then I breathed out.
Yeah.
And that there was the worst soda experience I have had on this
Yeah,
podcast.
that's really, I bet
Whoa!
I bet people like buy it just because, I had bacon soda because I'm so cool, and that's how they make their money, and it never gets sold twice to the same person.
No.
Whoa.
I should have brought mints in. Sorry.
Yeah, that's...
It isn't a pleasant taste, folks.
It's not, yeah, like you were saying, it's not real aggressive up front. And that's enough to get you to drink some, and then it hits you from inside.
It's just pretty yucky.
Wet socks.
To me, it doesn't have a whole lot of taste. We've had some pretty nasty stuff, but this one just doesn't have a whole lot of taste. But what it does have is not pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as bad as the mushrooms. The mushroom soda was the worst.
This one's topping the mushrooms for me. I drank all my mushrooms.
Oh, God.
This is,
Yeah, ew.
it's like kissing a dog on the lips.
Well, I love my dogs. They can give me all those smoochy kisses they want. This, no way.
Well, they may
Right
never
after-
again if you drink it.
Right after, I eat
After the
bacon.
treats. Yeah, yes. The bacon strips. Oh,
Okay.
okay. We're ready to talk books. What do you got for us today, Sophia?
Okay. Today, like I said, we're discussing our favorite genres. I can say it now.
Genres.
The bacon soda
Genre.
did the trick.
It's a small word.
So I will
with a big
start with
meaning.
my favorite genre. I love historical fiction. It's my jam. If it's going to make me cry, I love it even more. Great. So I will start with a good book that I've read in this genre lately. I very recently finished Lessons in Chemistry. It was great. I give it like a solid 9 out of 10. I loved the story of womanhood. I love the story of a mother doing her best she can to provide for her child. And I just loved it. It gave me all the good feelings and also some tears. Bonus.
I think this was one that was also recommended, if I'm not mistaken, by Eric, our board chair. 'Cause he's a chemistry guy too. So, remind me what the time period and the
60s,
setting is.
The 1960s. Yeah. I think they also made an Apple TV show based on this.
It's either that or a movie. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was a series with, I can't remember.
She's blonde, and she played Captain Marvel.
Brie Larson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it. Boom. Teamwork.
Nice.
Yes. So some other book recommendations from that genre that I really like. Amy Tan, a good one. So I pulled one from our stacks, The Joylet Club, which is great. But I also love The Kitchen God's Wife. That's another good one if you can read it. I love Kristin Hanna. So from our stacks, I pulled The Women and The Nightingale. I think The Women was a really transformational journey. It's about a nurse serving in Vietnam And I think it really just encompasses the whole experience of women veterans, and especially women veterans of that time. People not believing that she actually served in Vietnam, what her experiences were like, and then everything after. So I think it was a very good, it really encompasses the whole experience. And then the Nightingale, which is, World War II, based on that time. So many tears, but very heartwarming and break your heart, but in a good way.
Historical fiction is, and I've probably mentioned this before on the show, to me, like, it seems like this one of the scariest genres to write in, because it would be so easy to put some anachronism in there accidentally that then you just get barraged with emails from people, whether it's the wrong kind of toaster in the 60s or, something in the Middle Ages, that having that attention to detail and being able to convey the sense of time, probably potentially harder for more recent history, when maybe there are people who remember that, who will be able to also correct you.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I like historical fiction. I don't read a whole lot of it. My historical fiction's usually mixed into the other genre that is my favorite. So, but I do love books about World War II. The book that comes to mind for me is called The Gown. And I'm not sure who it's written by off the top of my head. I don't want to get it wrong. So maybe you can put it in the podcast notes. And it's about the lace maker, the woman who made the lace for Queen Elizabeth's wedding gown. And it's based on the real people. Of course, it's fiction, but it drew a lot of its story from those women. I mean, it was a real life group of women and designers who created the lace for her gown. And it's one of those, I like my historical fiction to be set in the past and in the present, so that you're going back and forth between two different times. And that's how I like mine. But
I love the intergenerational stories that really span from, early 1900s to maybe like late 20th century, or I don't know, any span of decades, but really just that intergenerational dramas. I love that. Love hearing from the whole family.
Yeah. Who's next?
I can go. I've got a short stack here. But I will say that this reminds me of one of my I haven't read a whole lot of historical fiction, but I did really enjoy The Eye of the Needle by Ken Follett, which is another World War II era spy novel. That's a good one. Really good one. I should revisit. But I pulled some based on what I tend to read most when I find time to read these days, which is nonfiction. And I need to delve back into fiction. Getting my attention span under control is a challenge. But I find I've been reading nonfiction more than others. So a couple that I think of as recent books, but then I look at the dates and it's actually been quite a while. The Apparitionists by Peter Manseau, A Tale of Phantoms, Fraud, Photography, and the Man Who Captured Lincoln's Ghost. It's about the early days of photography and the Civil War, being the American Civil War, having been documented by photographers, and, how that technology was evolving and not fully understood by society at large. And then you had spirit photography, when people were introducing ghosts and stuff to pictures, and at a time when people didn't understand how photography worked, let alone how a double exposure or something like that is. And so it covers all of that, all the social and cultural and technological changes happening at the time, down to, battlefield photographers during the Civil War. They were composing their shots in ways that you'd think were might be not ethical by modern journalistic standards. You know, they were moving stuff around, and so all of that is tied together in a really fascinating way. So I really enjoyed this one, and this person at the center of it is a guy who was leading the charge of spirit photography and having ghosts show up in his pictures. The other is by Colin Dickey, who's written a number of books. This one is The Unidentified: Mythical Monsters, Alien Encounters, and Our Obsession with the Unexplained. And this is right up my alley in terms of weird stuff, paranormal stuff, but not from a standpoint of belief or of debunking, but of understanding the context in which experiences take place. Like what was going on in the world when, you know, the alien cattle mutilation abductions were happening, and how that
in Oregon, wasn't it?
It was all over the place. And there's a lot of analysis in here, and, you know, maybe some extrapolation going on in here, but it's really interesting. He presents some things that, after, you know, decades of reading about this stuff, I had never come across some of these takes before, and it's really interesting. And he kind of follows a thread through history of various purported phenomena and creatures. So those are two from, you know, if nonfiction is a genre.
Sure.
That you'll let me have that.
I'll let you have that.
Thanks, Cindy.
It has its own genres inside of it.
Yeah.
So.
But I'd say, I guess, nonfiction of the weird.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. The unexplained.
The unexplained. So I will do mine. I tend to read mysteries and thrillers most, but I want to say that I also read a lot of other stuff. So it was really hard. I told Harrison, it's like picking my favorite child. I can't pick my favorite child. I can't pick my favorite book necessarily, but I can pick my favorite authors. So my favorite mystery writer probably, and the favorite book I have within his writings, is Dick Francis. His son, Felix Francis, also has written the similar type of books. But if you like good English detective / thriller / mystery, there are some really, really good ones. And the one thing I really like about his stuff is that it takes place in the horse racing world. And so I've learned a ton of information about horse racing. I never, you know, we have it in America, but not like they do in Britain. And so this particular book that I picked out from him is called Shattered. And it's about it's most of his books directly relate to horse racing, but this one is kind of in the periphery. It's about the man who creates the hand-blown glass trophy for a race and ends up embroiled in a mystery, and a whole lot of things happen. But I learned a ton about glass blowing, and I thought it was just a fascinating book, really good mystery. Really, he doesn't do romance. There's always some kind of interest in the book usually, but very rarely it's not overblown. And I'm not a big romance fan. I guess if I had a least favorite genre, it's probably the bodice rippers, you know. And so his books are really good. Another really good author, and I have 4 here. Another really good author is James Rollins. He writes thrillers, but they always have kind of a twist. They border on the supernatural. They border on cutting edge science. So usually what he's doing is kind of like, oh, this is weird, but there's kind of an explanation behind it. And then sometimes at the end of his books, he will give like, this is where our science is now, and we are really close to becoming where it was in the book. Wow. And so he's a really interesting writer. I picked the book Sandstorm. It's set in the Southwest. It's the first book in a series that introduces Nora. Oh, she's not in here. Anyway. Oh, no, this is a different one. Sorry. He does archaeology kinds of things. There's always kind of an element of supernatural and thriller kinds of stuff. So James Rollins is really good. He also writes a series of books about a army dog handler whose dog has the latest in technology, and he and his dog communicate. And as I was reading the first one, which is called Kill Switch, I was like, really? That seems a little weird that he's talking to his dog and his dog. And then I read the end where he says, this is what's happening in this technology. And it's like, oh, that's amazing. That his dog wears an earpiece and the dog can hear him, so he can go out in the field and he can direct his dog according to the camera on him. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just fascinating, the kind of things that are happening.
Squirrel.
Yeah, they're well trained. And then I'm going to keep going because I have honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are Michael Crichton, who wrote Congo, and my favorite Michael Crichton book, other than Jurassic Park, is Timeline. Mm. And Timeline is a time travel book, and it's pretty funky. Mm-hmm. They made a movie. It's okay. The movie's okay, but the book is really good. And so Michael Crichton is he's kind of one of those authors. He's gone now, but his books kind of stand the test of time because they all have that kind of futuristic, this is what might be happening sometime in the future. Mm-hmm. And then if you want straight up mystery, Victoria Thompson's your girl. She wrote two series. One's the Gaslight Mystery series, which takes place in turn-of-the-century London, and then the Counterfeit Lady novels, which takes place about the same time in New York City. So, they're great novels, great mysteries, a little intense, but if you like that, that's okay. If you wanted just a cozy mystery, I can point you to those two, but the list is way too long for me to give on this show.
I need to revisit Congo.
Yes, Congo's
because
great.
That novel is one of my great shames as a reader. Because when I was younger, I started reading Congo, really enjoyed it, and then I got within like 25 pages of the end of it, and there's so much like descriptions of, at the time, like cutting edge, slightly speculative, like satellite technology, where he's describing different radios and stuff. And it got to a point where it was coming up on the very end of the book, and he stopped again to be like, let me tell you how this satellite transmitter encodes information. And I was like, I can't do this again. And I put the book down and I never picked it up again. Oh. So I've seen the movie, but I need to do it again because it's the closest I've ever come to finishing a book and then just not doing it.
Yeah. Congo, like you said, has been made into a movie. Timeline has been made into a movie. They did a fair job. You can't do... when I go to a movie that's based on a book, I'm not super picky. I just want to be entertained. Mm-hmm. And I want it to kind of resemble the book. I mean, the only one I gripe about, and I've griped about it before, is The Hobbit. The Hobbit was too long in the movie theater. They added too much. They could have just stuck to the story and it would have been wonderful.
Oh man, I loved it so much.
I didn't dislike the movies. I just don't think they were very much like the book.
That's true. Well,
they added a lot that just was really frustrating for me.
Creative liberties.
Oh, absolutely.
They managed to make, though, wasn't one of the Hobbit movies just the battle, pretty much?
The Five Armies, Battle of the Five Armies, yeah.
And that's that is quite a thing to pull off. I didn't enjoy the movies as much as I enjoyed the book, but the fact that when they did kind of buckle down and make one movie out of
Yeah.
Kind of such a narrow section while also adding in things. I enjoyed it in the theater.
I did. I won't say I didn't enjoy it. I did. But then and I understand why they did it. The only thing I have trouble with is the dwarf and the elf romance. I'm sorry. That's it. That's the thing I have a problem with. Not that it couldn't happen somewhere in, fantasy genre. That's not the problem I have. The problem is it was not even in the book. I mean, there's nothing in the book like that. So that was my biggest thing. However, the Five Armies movie, which was great, in the book it's a little skinny, because here it is. Oh yeah, they had this battle and so-and-so died and then so-and-so died and then so-and-so died. And it's like, oh yeah, I can see why they needed to flesh that out a little. So, but anyway, that's my problem I have with it. Legolas is not in The Hobbit. It's somebody else.
I think that was for the ladies.
I think it was too. Just not me. Anyway, that's my books that I love to read. I did pick a couple that I was surprised at when I read them. I was surprised I liked them so much.
And we have a part 2 for this episode, right? We have a second.
We do. The unexpected favorite.
Oh yes, the unexpected favorite from a genre that you don't read often.
Okay, who's gonna lead us off there?
Why don't does this count? Well, so I recently finished The Wedding People, which is fiction, but it's not historical fiction. It's more modern fiction. Takes place in more recently during like pandemic era and post-pandemic era. And it had romance, but it was really about like self-realization and learning to love yourself and being okay with who you are and then growing from hard times. So I thought I was going for something light and I was wrong. But it turned out to be really good and I actually really enjoyed it. And I all the good feelings after reading the book. So I would very much recommend it.
Cool.
Okay.
I've heard good things about that one too from other folks. I might have to do that. I might have to branch out myself.
The genre that I don't read often is, I used to read it a lot in my younger years, is paranormal. And I had read a series that I actually read it online because it's kind of fan fiction. And I don't typically read that. And it's the Innkeeper series. And actually, you can now get it, but it's that kind of magic, fantasy, sci-fi, vampires, and it's about an innkeeper who she has an inn that is neutral ground for paranormal and fantastical creatures. So they come to her inn, and the inn is actually a living being that takes care of these people, but it's neutral ground. So she sometimes gets vampires who like to eat this certain other species, and they stay in the same. Anyway, it's very convoluted, and I can't remember the name of the author, but it started out, I read it online, like on just a fan site, and then eventually she did get them published. And so you can get them actually in our system. I believe that Driftwood has them.
Cool.
But one of the other ones I read that I had read a paranormal of hers, I read the series and I really liked it, is Kelly Armstrong. And then I thought, I'll try her other books. And I tried her Rockton series books, and they are so good. And we have them because I made a point to buy the whole series. They are dark and mysterious, and they pull in a little bit of the elements of the alien kind of, not the alien stuff, but the stuff that lives in the forest in the Yukon that we don't see. And and so, but she is a outcast from a police department for a variety of reasons, and she ends up taking a job as a detective in a very cloistered kind of community in the middle of the Yukon. And so that's the premise and her adventures from that time on. And there's a whole series. It's called the Rockton series. It's by Kelly Armstrong. And I didn't think at first I'm like, I'm not much for dark, really kind of dark thrillers, but I really liked hers, and they are very good mysteries, but also very good thrillers, because you never know what's coming out of the woods.
Ooh. I'll have to check her out.
I pulled one because I was trying to think of things I don't read a lot, and I'll read sci-fi. I don't read a lot of like hard sci-fi, right? The really science-based stuff. But a few years ago, I did read The Martian by Andy Weir, which is a book that I found both wonderful and irritating, and both to do with how it was written, because Andy Weir created like a what do you call it? A user group of people that I think by the writing style, I think he pulled off of Reddit and had a bunch of people giving feedback on like, what if this happened to this character, like physically, scientifically, what could, and so it was like a collaborative writing effort, but he included a lot of that into the character, because it's kind of an epistolary, I don't know how to pronounce the word. It's written from the main character's perspective, and it's like the internal monologue of like a sentient Reddit thread. It's all these not like everything that's the character's thinking and saying is just tired meme comments that were old by the time this came out, where he's just constantly like, so I did a thing because potato, and it's just all this kind of stuff that's like, it's really interesting because other than the setup, it's very hard science, other than the event that sets it off, which is kind of an exception to kind of put the story in motion. But also I kind of was, you kind of want the character to die after you're listening to him for a while, but it is really fascinating, like all of, as it, all the physics and the stuff is explained going forward. So I would recommend it, but it can be a little bit grating.
Oh, sounds like it. Yeah. I did a thing.
Yeah.
So one of the questions, though, that you had too was, what are you reading right now?
I am looking for my next book. I just finished The Wedding People. That's the latest book that I've read. I'm looking for the next thing. One of my friends recommended What You're Looking For Is in the Library, which I haven't started yet, but I'm also open to recommendations. So shout out Ernie if you got them. But I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah, I have right now at home Fever Beach by Carl Hyacin, and I've had it out for 2 weeks and I haven't opened it, and I think I need to renew it.
Yeah.
I really enjoy Carl Hyacin, and it's just it's just the attention span thing. I got to get around it. But I also saw in the nonfiction section somebody ordered Paranormal Ranger.
Yeah, you should read that. I read it.
I might read that.
It's kind of interesting. It's about a Navajo ranger and his experiences with the paranormal.
Oh, I would love that.
Oh yeah, it's kind of weird and wonderful. I am reading Badlands by Preston and Child. Lincoln Child and Douglas Preston. And if you want good thrillers, they're the guys to go to. They write about an FBI agent. They write a lot of thrillers about weird kind of archaeological finds. I read one, the last one I read that has these two characters in it. It was set over in the area where that wagon train that got lost and they ate each other. What is that called?
The Donner Party.
The Donner Party. Man. And it kind of turns the whole Donner Party thing on its head. So there's some interesting stuff. They are well researched. and if you're interested at all in archaeology, and I think I've said it before on here, I always wanted to be an archaeologist. That was what I wanted to be when I was a kid.
Wow.
And but that whole process is really interesting to me. And so Preston and Child do a really good job. They have a whole variety of series within their genre. And if you are familiar with the movie The Relic, that's a Preston and Child book. You thought the movie was scary, the book will don't read it at night. And they write some really great stuff about archaeology and history and things that go bump in the dark. But it has not yet been on the news shelf. I ordered it, I processed it, and I took it home. So I'll bring it back next week and you can check it out. That's one of the perks I get.
And I wanted to make sure I said, good job on the intro.
Yeah,
this is your first podcast intro. And thank you for the topic as well.
Thank you.
Reminds me I need
that's a lot of fun
more.
to talk about. And all of these books that we are staring at here on the counter are in our library.
Yes.
So come on in and pick a new book. And now there are, all of us here at the library have book recommendations. And if you mention what you like, we can usually find something for you to read.
Yep.
Yeah, mother.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
We're librarians.
And we will talk to y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
The Free Bin is a production of the Toledo Public Library, which is part of the Lincoln County Library District in beautiful Lincoln County, Oregon. Writing by Cindy Bilek, Sophia Kahn, and Harrison Baker. Original music by Harrison Baker. Editing by Harrison Baker and Sophia Kahn. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect those of any organization they represent. Good night.